Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for, this is part 2 of 2023. We're going to be looking at your 5th house of romance, creativity, self-expression, children, good fortune. And you have this great fortune card, which is crazy, showing up here. And we're going to see what comes up for you. So you have this, you do have this thief card here, Capricorn, and you also have the 7 of Swords. So we're definitely going to take a look at and see what's that. I would just be careful of, any tricky people or any tricky situations. I would avoid get-rich-quick schemes as well, because you have that thief card, 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. I do feel personally that the 7 of Swords is actually a good card. It is a golden card. And golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. So, that's what I'll say there. But what I would say is that, look at this. You have this self-made card. I also feel that some of you have, gone through something, like a breakup, a separation, or, something along those lines. And what I would say, what I'm trying to say here, Capricorn, is that I feel like this is saying, don't allow someone to steal your thunder. Don't allow someone to steal your limelight. You literally have the sun, the moon, and the star. I mean, whenever I have the sun and the star in a reading, to me, it's like fame and fortune. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to become famous, as I always say, but it is just an amazing energy for taking advantage of getting attention. Like, if you want a raise or a promotion, get more attention, get as much attention as you possibly can, and you will stand out and you will be successful. If you want love, same thing. Get as much attention as you possibly can with those cards and you will be successful. But I really get this feeling here of needing to kind of just make sure that, someone from the past or, whatever that upset you, make sure that they're not, kind of stealing your joy, stealing your happiness, stealing your thunder, right? I feel you need to, kind of make sure that you kind of maybe heal yourself, especially if you went through something in the past. Again, I don't really have any good advice because, again, it's not like this person. I feel like it's more saying if you're staying in that state of being hurt, that's the thing that is stealing from you. So I hope that makes sense here. But I do feel there is great fortune coming in for you with this great fortune card. I would say I would also. Again, we're going to clarify through here and just get more detail in just a minute, but I would also make sure that you're just paying attention to everything. The cards look really good here, but again, you do have the 7 of Swords in this row. I don't like putting messages out like this, but I do also think that we should be aware if something is going on. So I would be checking your bank statements. I wouldn't be paranoid because then you attract it. I do believe we create our own reality and we can attract these things. But I also think that we, again, should pay attention. So, make sure to check your bank statements. Make sure that someone isn't stealing your work or, something like that. You have the Death card, the Fool, and the 7 of Swords. Again, the 7 of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, and it can be like a trickster. So there you go. Also, my alarm going. Why? I don't know why my alarm is going off. I've been up for days, up for hours, right? But what I would say here is that the 7 of Swords is a card of doing things differently. It's a card of kind of, paying attention to tactics. It is a card of tactics, basically. He is stealing those swords from an army in the background. I kind of do feel like this is you. Again, if there is a person who is, stealing things from you, like your works or, something like that, I feel that there could be different ways to kind of go about getting justice here. You end with the Justice card as well, which is very interesting. But, I also feel that this is saying that some of you could be needing to use tactics, in regards to your finances. You have the Fool card here. And the Fool card is about taking a leap of faith. I feel like you need to take a leap of faith towards something new. Again, the 5th house can have to do with romance, right? It can, and also children. And I'm getting both here. So I'm wondering if some of you went through an ending in a relationship, and maybe it had to do with children or because of children. Maybe your person had children. Maybe you have children. I don't know. It's popping into my head for some of you. Obviously, not all of you. I'm getting a lot here in this row, Capricorn, especially if you went through a breakup. I feel like you could have been dealing with a liar, cheater, stealer. But I also feel like this person, it's such a weird reading. I feel so weird about this person because it's they're very connected to you as well. I feel like this person's watching you glow up is what this is. Here at Capricorn, I feel like you need to make sure that if you've dealt with a past person, if you had a past person, if you are like feeling them, if you're feeling sad, lonely, whatever, I literally feel you are feeling them, right? And I feel like it's because they're watching you glow. Again, sun and the star. So, I would do whatever you can, cord cutting, just praying, asking for protection, asking your guides or ancestors to cut the cords or whatever. You have this death card as well, so there's like some sort of transformation that's going on for you. I have the word gray popping into my head as well. It's almost like if you're dealing with a past person here, or if you had a past person who's still in your energy field, it's almost like this year they could be going through some very difficult things. Again, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, of course, but it's almost like, again, that you were a source of comfort, so I would definitely be careful of that. I do also feel that some of you could be attracting a Scorpio into your life. Now, there's a lot going on here, so let's clarify this and try to clear this up here, Capricorn, because it doesn't feel very clear to me at the moment. With the death card, you have the publicity card. Are you kidding me? Do I need to say more, Capricorn? A ton of attention coming in for you. I would be creative as well. Again, the 5th house is a house of creativity and self-expression. There could be some very creative ideas or very creative opportunities for you to get attention publicly or to get publicity, especially for those of you that have businesses. I'd say you have that great fortune card. There could be a lot of success in getting publicity. This could be like starting a podcast, getting on YouTube, but it could also be like being creative in ways to get your business into the news or something like that. Like I see those types of opportunities coming up for you here. Again, I would also say if you just have a job, if you want love, I would be getting as much attention as you possibly can. With the Fool card, you have the Defense card. Someone was a fool. Someone was foolish. I feel like someone was a fool with you, especially for those of you that have been dealing with love. I feel like this person effed up. Let's put it that way, right? They did not make the right decision is what's popping into my head here. I feel like they kind of like, burned you in some ways here with this Fool card, right? So, I feel like you're on a new journey. I feel like you're going on a new path, and that's exactly what I would do. It's interesting that there's like this buffalo here, right? I'm going to show you. There's this buffalo on this coin right here above my finger, and he's like kind of going towards the swords. If you happen to know the story of the buffalo, it's like buffalo, or the buffalo and the cow. Buffaloes run towards storms, cows run away from storms, and the story of the buffalo and the cow is that the buffaloes that run through the storm, they go through the most difficult part of it, and because of that, they like get to the other side of the storm, and they don't have to deal with all the like craziness. The cows that run away from the storm, they're like running away from it, so the storm is like chasing them, and by the time the storm gets to them, they're exhausted, and so they just get stormed on, right? And so, the buffaloes, they choose to kind of like go through the difficult, they run towards the challenges. They run towards something that is a challenge so that they get to the other side of the storm, right? Where there's like fresh pasture, where it's been rained on. It's like fresh energy, fresh things on the other side. Popping into my head here with this Defense card, it's almost like you could be choosing to, you're not running away from a person. That's not what I'm saying here. I also think that it is shockingly interesting that there are 7 swords right there. So I definitely, or there's actually 6 swords, never mind. So you're moving on to calmer shores. I can't count. I've never claimed that I could count either, but whatever, you're moving on to calmer shores here. I thought that was 7 swords for some reason, and I'm sure one of those guys on the horse there has a sword, so there you go, 7. But what I would say is, I feel like you're kind of like choosing to walk away from someone just to get to the other side. With the 7 of Swords, you have the speculation card. I feel like this person, past person left you in the speculation mode. I feel like they left you kind of like guessing or trying to figure out like what was going on or whatever. And I really feel you're just over it here. You have this, I just like bumped this. You have this distant horizon card popping off here. So I feel like you're heading towards something bigger or better in the near future. Next, in the area of your 6th house, which represents like work, your daily routine, your health, and things like that, you have this 8th house card. It says mysteries on it. Yeah, mystery. You also have this Pisces card. It says sensitize on it. So you also have the moon. So you have a lot of Pisces energy here. You also have the High Priestess, a King of Cups. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. Pisces has been in like everybody's reading, but what I would say here is that I feel for some of you, this is saying you need to look at things that are a mystery. Like if you're trying to figure things out in work or business, like I feel you need to dive deeper and learn as much as you can, especially if you're like trying to come up with a new daily routine. This sensitized card, I feel like you need to focus on your feelings. You literally start with the moon. You have the moon, the 3 of Cups, and the sun. The sun is in the moon, like the moon is about maybe mysteries, but the sun is about doing what feels good. And I feel that some of you, especially in work, need to move towards the things that make you feel joyful, that make you feel happiness. I feel like I've been saying this to you all year, more or less, Capricorn, that there's like a lot of joy and a lot of opportunity for happiness, but I feel like you have to choose it. You also have the Three of Cups here. Three of Cups is, of course, a card of like working together. Teamwork makes the dream work, of course, right? But I also am getting something about health here on the Three of Cups. And the sixth house can have to do with health. And I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. But Three of Cups is kind of like a card of play. And I feel like more play would be a good idea for you. I feel like if we're just always working, then we're in a very dull energy. What do you think happens to our health if we're in a very dull energy? It's probably not good. I don't know what happens. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, Capricorn, what happens? I have no clue, but it's probably not good, is what I would say. So I think we need more play. Definitely. I feel like we need more fun, especially after like the last 3 years. So I'd make sure that you're like socializing. That could be where you're like, you recharge your batteries or you find happiness, whatever the case may be. You have this moon card here, and I am getting for some of you that it would be better to take care of something like now. If you're having a health concern or health issue, I wouldn't wait to get it taken care of. I would do it right away. Again, I am not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. But again, it's like one of those things. Sometimes I feel with the moon, it's like if we wait, something can become a much bigger issue than it needs to be. Same thing with your like car or something is popping. The sixth house has nothing to do with your car, but it could because maybe your car gets you to work, right? Again, I feel if there's an issue, it would be better to take care of it now than it would be to take care of it later. So I would definitely do that here. But let's see what is going on here for you, Capricorn. With the moon card, you have the manipulation card. I would definitely be careful if you have a person who has manipulated you in the past, for sure. We talked about this at the beginning of the reading. But really, this is actually a pretty good card. It's about manipulating the energy. It's about using your powers of manifestation to get what you want. With the moon, to me, is a card of having a big dream. Like, the moon is up there. And we have to bring the moon down to Earth. I always say that the moon does not say stop. Nowhere on the moon does it say stop. It says keep going to those mountains because the mountains represent achievements in the tarot. So there's like some sort of big achievement, something that you want to manifest. And I feel like you could be manifesting it here on Earth by like manipulating energy. With the Three of Cups, you have this harmony card, really good. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra as well. Or there could be a person who has either Libra or Aquarius in their chart. A lot of Libra and Aquarius here. But what I would say here is I feel like there is kind of like a focus on peace and harmony this year. This has come up for pretty much everyone, but it's definitely coming up for you here. With the sun, you have this adaptability card. Yeah, I feel like you just need to be flexible as well. Definitely a year. I mean, at least for the first like 6 months, I would say definitely a good time to be as flexible as you possibly can in work or business, like not getting stuck doing things one way. Or if you have work or a business, or if you're working on a new business or a new idea, like don't just do it. Don't just think, oh, if it fails one way, that it's a failure. I feel like this is saying there are multiple ways to pretty much do everything, but we have to embrace that flexible energy. Next, in the area of your seventh house for relationships and marriage, contracts, things like that, you have this mending card and also this to the sea card. I feel like you're healing yourself with that mending card, focusing on yourself. The to the sea card, I feel, is literally saying there are plenty of fish in the sea. So I feel like you're like maybe a little bit sad, but I feel like you're healing your heart. And I feel like you're kind of moving on in looking for something new, looking for something different. I do feel like some of you could have a person. I mean, it's up to you here is what I would say. I do feel like you could have a person who was inconsistent in the past, probably this past liar here coming in. I'm not saying that they're coming back to come back. I feel like they're probably coming back to apologize based off of everything else that's here. But I kind of feel like I feel like they've already had to apologize to you before. You know, it's like, I'm not saying that you have to be a jerk to this person. I wouldn't ever suggest that, but I feel like this person would deserve it. I'll put it that way, because I feel like they've had to apologize to you too many times is what's popping into my head intuitively. So they may be coming in looking for healing because you provide or have provided healing from them, but it's like you've always provided healing. So it's like, why do they need to apologize in the first place? I have no sympathy for adults, basically, that need to constantly come back and apologize. It's like you're an adult. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. And this person, I feel like, has had to do this multiple times. So I don't know. You do you is what I'd say, but I feel like you're focused on healing yourself. You have the High Priestess, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Wands here. Again, this is the 7th house, house of relationships. Could be a Pisces coming in for some of you, although, again, I'm a Pisces, and I've been saying all year, Pisces has been all up in everyone's business this year. It's funny because people keep leaving comments. They're like, oh, Chris clearly likes a Capricorn, which, no, I don't. I don't like anyone, right? But what I would say is, like, because Pisces shows up, that people just assume they're like, oh, Chris likes a Capricorn or whatever. I don't. But what I would say is Pisces is all up in everyone's business. So there you go. Take it how it resonates. Could be a person who has Pisces in their chart. Really, I'm feeling Libra or Aquarius. So it could be like an air sign here or a fire sign. You have a lot of fire here as well. But I feel like you need to trust your intuition. I really feel like this is you in this reading, because I feel like you are kind of looking into mysteries. A lot of mystery cards here, a lot of cards of mystery, and she looks into mystery. She's also very focused on creating her own reality. She has 3 stages of the moon here on her crown, and it represents the fact that she sees the beginning, middle, and end of every situation as she wants it to go. She imagines things as she wants them to go before they happen. So she's literally like creating her reality in front of her. And I feel like some of you, maybe you need to practice that in relationships. Like maybe you need to practice like seeing things as going in the right way, not the wrong way, right? Next you have the King of Cups. Definitely could be a King of Cups type person coming in for you. I'm getting something about the home or something like that. You have that 2 of the Sea card. This card to me is a clue card, and I have several cards in the tarot that I consider clue cards that don't really represent their traditional meaning, but to me, they represent something intuitively, and this represents the home to me. And then you have the Knight of Wands as well. So I definitely feel like you've dealt with inconsistent energy in the past, but you could also be traveling or moving, and that could be where you're discovering love. But let's definitely get some more details. You have this Riches card wanting to pop out. This is like your card, actually. It's Saturn in Capricorn, but Taurus also had this card, and I'm pretty sure you showed up a bunch of times in the Taurus reading, so it wouldn't surprise me if you were also attracting a Taurus or if you end up with a Taurus. With the High Priestess, you have this Power card. Could also be a Scorpio. You have like 3 Scorpio cards here at least. So, could be a Scorpio, but you have this Power card, which is kind of similar to the High Priestess, but here's the thing. There's like a roof here. The High Priestess has no roof over her head, and it represents like unlimited potential. And so, I don't know, that's popping to my head as important for some reason. Also, this right here, it's going to be very hard to see this, but this face, it's kind of like the same face that's on that manipulation card as well, which is interesting. I'm wondering, and you see here, there's like a sun and a moon in the middle. So I'm wondering if like you're attracting a person where you become like a power couple together, the sun and the moon, the 2 energies, masculine and feminine. So very interesting. With the King of Cups, you have this Control card. This card always reminds me of the World card, which is your card, Capricorn. And so I feel there is a lot of success. You can see this is Jupiter in Capricorn as well. So I feel there's a lot of success coming in for you, in the world. So again, you could be moving. I also feel some of you have changed significantly this year. Something has changed you in 2022. And I feel like you're kind of carrying these changes over, obviously, into 2023, but you're enhancing them is what's popping into my head. So I feel like these changes could be the thing that attracts love into your life. There is a love focus here in this row, which is kind of interesting. Again, even I remember like last year when I did your love reading, there was like no love showing up basically. And, so it's very interesting to me. With the Knight of Wands, you have this Rebellion card. Again, Taurus had this card in exactly the same position. So I definitely feel that for you. I also feel like, again, if you were dealing with an inconsistent person, I don't know, I feel like you were dealing with a messed up person, honestly. I mean, they might not be necessarily a bad person, but I feel like you were dealing with a person where it's like, the second you show them that you like them, they like run away. And then you stop talking to them, and then they like run back. I get this like a major back and forth type of energy here. So this person needs therapy or something. I don't know. But you could also be attracting like a little bit of a rebel, bad boy, bad girl type of energy here, but I don't think it's like not like a player energy. At the end here for your 8th house, you have the Slow card. It says making slow progress, but you're getting there. And you have the Self-Made card. You will become successful or rich by your own efforts. Love it. The 8th house is the house of intimacy, shared resources, like other people's money, debts, taxes, things like that. But clearly things are going to be going very, very well for you. If you are dealing with a debt or taxes or a tax issue or something like that, number one, find an expert. Queen of Swords. Queen and King of Swords to me, you have the Queen of Swords here, but I'm just saying the two cards kind of represent an expert that can solve your problems very, very quickly. So I would definitely say find an expert. And, sometimes I get, comments from people who are like, well, I have a problem and I can't afford an expert. I'm like, no, you can't not afford to find an expert is what I'd say here. And so I would find a way, where there's a will, there's a way, and I would find a way to get an expert. I always tell people, me like they have issues with like money and like all this other stuff. I totally get it, but I would do something like, especially if you need a lawyer, if you need a whatever. I always tell people, number one, lawyers will work with you. Number two, it's like go clean houses or something. Like there are plenty of gigs on Craigslist where you can make the extra money or something like that. Because again, if you're dealing with an issue, I feel this could solve the issue very, very quickly. So I feel like a couple weeks, couple months cleaning houses or doing something extra would be much more worth it than, suffering for a lifetime, right? So that's what I'll say there, right? And I know it's not easy. I'm not trying to say, oh, this is going to be so easy, but it's better than the alternative if you're dealing with an issue, clearly. But having said that, to me, it looks very good. So I wouldn't even worry about it. You have this riches card here, or whatever that says self-made. You have the star, the Justice card, and the Queen of Swords. You could be clearing up a lot of debts, or you could be clearing up any issues that you've had with the Justice card. The other thing that I love about the Justice card in the 8th house is that it just says that you could be balancing things out. Your finances are just becoming more balanced. Maybe you're not so worried, or you're not having to worry as much this year. I feel like there's more equal give and take in your finances as well. So especially if you're dealing with another person, again, 8th house is other people's money. So if you have shared resources, maybe your partner's getting a raise, things could be balancing out. If you, again, shared resource, other people's money, if you have a job, then the 8th house kind of has to do with your job because you're getting paid by someone else. So there could be more balance or justice coming in there, or just more fair. You have the star here. The star, of course, is like hopes, wishes, dreams. It's also a card of healing. It also comes up after the tower, and I am getting that if you've had any tower moments financially, that again, this could be the correction. It's like you're correcting some financial issues that you've had. Also, really good card of kind of, putting vibes out. You can see there are vibes in the water right here, and I always say that pool is the pool of universal consciousness. We're constantly communicating with the universe, telling it what we want. And I feel like you could be kind of getting what you want financially, which is really good. I also think that you see very, very clearly how to fix any problems that you could potentially have. So there's like very, very clear solutions to any issues. But I also feel you're just transforming your relationship to money is what I'm getting here in general. So obviously that's going to be different for all of you. But again, I feel it's a very positive energy. I feel like you could be just like fixing limiting beliefs. The 8th house has to do with mysteries as well. So maybe there have been some mysteries around like how to make more money or how to get a raise or a promotion or whatever. And I feel like you could just be discovering answers is what I'm getting here. And again, the Queen of Swords could be an expert, but it could also just be, maybe you have like a wise friend or something like that gives you advice. So a lot of opportunity here. With the star, you have this versatility card. Again, everybody has basically had this card. Or there's another card in this deck. You have the adaptability card, but there's also like a flexibility card. And again, after those eclipses that we just had, I said during those eclipses that I felt like people need to be super flexible in how they accomplish things, because it's like your first idea probably isn't going to work. But if you stay flexible, then you'll be very successful. And I would definitely stay flexible at this time. With the Justice card, you have this Enterprise card I'm going to show you over here. Really good card of, financial improvements, abundance, good things coming in for you, so love it. You could also be teaming up with people in business. Again, teamwork makes the dream work for you. This is going to be true for you for like the next decade or so, Capricorn. Basically, I would be working with other people. You don't have to take people on as business partners. I always like to remind people that you can benefit from this energy by like joining a group, or even better, start a group. Like maybe you have a business that is about whatever. You could start a free group on Facebook where you can interact with other people and just get ideas, I think, or you could even start like a mastermind with just like 1 or 2 people. So all those things are just going to be very financially beneficial to you, and I would do it. With the Queen of Swords, you have this status card here. The 8th house has to do with intimacy as well. I'm not sure if I said that. And I do feel you could be gaining someone of status, or you could be teaming up with a person in love, and the two of you together create status. Again, this came up for Taurus And this right here is Jupiter and Taurus. So some of you could be attracting a Taurus, and I would say the two of you together could be becoming very, very successful. We're going to pull 5 main themes now and see if there's like anything else that I potentially could have missed, or if there's anything else that wants to come up here. You have this August card. It says August on it. So during the month of August 2023, you have this Sorrow Over Loss card. There could be some sort of loss here. Can we get more details here? Fly. It says a period of ill health or depression. Again, for some of you, maybe I feel like this is actually last August 2022. I'm wondering if you had this person that we were talking about left you around August. It might not have been August. Could have been September. Could have been July. I'm kind of getting like either side, right? But I feel like they left you kind of like down and dirty. I feel like they did you dirty as well. So some of you, this could have been in August of 2022. You have this woman card. It says dealings with relationships with a woman. You also have this Lily card. It says spiritual love. Could be any gender. Again, in these general readings, I don't attach gender to my cards. So you could be attracting any gender into your life. And I feel there's like a very strong spiritual connection coming in for you. Love looks really good. You have this bouquet card. It says compliments from an admirer. I feel like this person's very patient, very sweet. There's someone very patient, very sweet coming in for you. I feel like they can sense that maybe you've been through something, if you have been through this here as well. I kind of feel like you're saying there's like a snowball chance in hell that you're going to find love. You have that distant horizon card. And that distant horizon card, it's kind of hard to see here, but it kind of like always reminds me of something like very futuristic. It's like a ship in the clouds or something weird is going on here, right? And so I feel like you're saying there's like a snowball chance in hell, but I don't know. I feel like there's a person coming in. You have this needle and thread card. It says a sincere wish will be granted. So definitely could be like some sort of wish, obviously. You also have this gavel. It says involvement with the law. Again, if you have anything legal going on, I would definitely like get a lawyer or something like that. Can we get more clarity on this here? Well, it says wealth. So I don't know. Might not be a bad thing. Maybe you're kind of like winning a lawsuit, or maybe you're going through a divorce or separation, but it could be actually increasing your finances in some way. So that looks good here at Capricorn. Pretty interesting reading. I like it. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here. Again, part 3 will be out soon, and that'll be linked up down below.